Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another rage video where I need to turn this down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, anytime there's a particularly very difficult sort of situation, anytime there is this scant YouTuber out there, anytime when I feel as if like there's got to be reasons to reinforce exactly why I do the things that I do and why I should be the person I should always be, well, they call me the one-man band. Now, I gotta level with you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't normally sort of like come here with the pretense of knowing everything I'm going to get myself into, because I feel like that's kind of fun to walk into things almost with a completely blind eye, not looking at anything in pre-advance or anything in hurried advance, because I'll level with you, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't come here to necessarily make friends this afternoon. I came here to learn something. I heard about this woman before, who's apparently YouTube's biggest scammer, and maybe, possibly one day, I might be able to supersede her. Maybe I'll do something that will catch so many people off guard. I will be held as the distinctive, true king of scam baiting. Now, of course, that is not necessarily the most prestigious title to hold in the world, but if you're going to be remembered for one thing, then you may as well go down swinging, you know what I'm saying? You may as well take everything you can and turn it up to 11. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to uncover perhaps YouTube's biggest scam artist. I give you Tanna Mongeau.
I told myself before I started YouTube that I was going to be different and that I wasn't going to be like every other YouTuber and that I wasn't going to be the sellout, average, blonde bimbo on YouTube. I was going to be someone different.
You scam people out of their time, out of their money. It is a scam.
My ownership in Coin just got me this beautiful Rolls Royce.
I am partnering with Kenza Cosmetics, and they are doing a promotion right now where all of their makeup brushes are free.
Joe Scammer is so pissed at how well I'm scamming.
Oh boy.
None of this will probably be that surprising to anyone, and that fact in itself should be a little concerning. Today is the first video of kind of a running series that I want to start on influencers who have scammy behavior or do shady business deals. I thought it would be an interesting look at behind the scenes of the influencer world and some of the shady business aspects that come along with being an influencer. And I thought the perfect start to this series would be covering the many scams of Tanna Mongeau. But first, before we get into that whole mess, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you like videos like these and want to see more in this series, then definitely subscribe. This video was inspired by two things. The first thing was a comment left by Mark, a longtime friend of the channel. He left a comment on a video that I did on influencer crypto scams where he said, "By now, it's impossible to feel bad for anyone who continues to fall for the latest scam of the month that Tanna's promoting. From TannaCon to overpriced products made with Wish quality to Tanna's angel agency to now this."
Yeah, also, if you've never used Wish before, maybe you want to opt out now. Wish are not necessarily renowned for selling necessarily the greatest quality of products, mostly because a lot of them are knockoffs and probably not from original sources.
Gotta give. I was also inspired by Smoky Glow, one of my favorite creators on this platform, and one of her most recent videos on revisiting TannaCon. I highly recommend checking it out, and I'll link it down below in the description. So before we get into the many shady things that Tanna Mongeau has done, first off, who is Tanna Mongeau?
No one cares.
Oh my gosh.
Tanna Mongeau is mainly known for being a YouTuber.
Good morning, all of you beautiful people.
Though present day, you could kind of just call her a general influencer. And over the last few years, Tanna really gained a reputation for being one of the most, if not the most, problematic YouTubers in present day times. Tanna really centered her brand around being the messy and the real YouTuber. And because of this, I think her audience really lowered their standards with her, and she was able to get away with a lot more than any other YouTuber has been able to get away with. You know, there's that whole saying of always setting expectations.
A few things, a question I just want to ask. When they say like lower standards, do they mean just appeal to literally somebody who thinks that... Are they talking about lowering standards as in you just say that you're going to be this sort of person, and then everybody else will just, you know, line up in an orderly queue and then subscribe to you? Or do you just do... You see, there's a difference between lowering standards and actually putting out stuff that people would actually want to see, which actually, when you think about it, they're sort of like they're not necessarily one and the same, but interesting. I actually, that's a bit more interesting. I didn't necessarily think much about following this one up.
Low so that you can exceed them, or in Tanna's case, still not reach them, but then kind of try and pass it off by making a lighthearted joke and being like, haha, what did you expect? It's me. And all of this has led to her getting away with, or people forgetting fairly quickly, a lot of her scammery behavior. And well, there is a lot of scammery behavior. So much, in fact, that I wouldn't be surprised if I missed some of it in this video, but I thought I would cover everything I possibly could so that hopefully you can see a pattern of behavior and why, in general, in my opinion, Tanna Mongeau should not be trusted. This video is not made to demonize or villainize anyone. Tanna Mongeau is a human being just like all of us, and we are all flawed in our own ways. Please don't leave comments about Tanna's appearance or making any digs at things that she can't change about herself. This video is simply meant to highlight the many scams or shady business dealings that Tanna has been a part of, so that hopefully more people can learn how
I understand exactly why she's doing this, and that's fair enough. And also, I'm not too sure about why this guy's just mooning for the camera. But yeah, I understand, you know, treating her, you know, Tanna with some level of, you know, dignity, because not by lowering ourselves to her standard or to her sort of very show-offish. Everything about this is like the sort of thing that I absolutely am not sort of about. I'm not really the sort of person who's gonna like be, you know, the elephant in the room, or stand outside huge private jets, or be surrounded by people who think they're my friends. That in reality, I don't think any of these people are Tanna's friends, just because, well, imagine if Tanna was like not rich. Do you think any of these people would, you know, give a shit about her then? Well, that's up for you to decide. I'm gonna go and say that probably not.
Look out for these types of things because I want to help more people avoid scams. So the story of Tanna's many scams starts all the way back in 2017, though at this point Tanna was already a fairly large YouTuber with a big following and a full-blown career. Before 2017, Tanna had been on tours and done meet and greets, but from what I found, there weren't really a ton of complaints at that time for the way that the meet and greets were handled or for fans who felt mistreated or scammed. I do have to say, it's very clear from Tanna Mongeau's early content that she did have a really rough childhood or didn't come from much wealth and really built her career on her own. I would say Tanna Mongeau, as cringy as it is to say, is an example of someone who is self-made. She didn't have help from anyone. She kind of went and did YouTube on her own and figured it all out and built her career herself.
I think that's
and I
fair
had a lot
to say.
of respect for that. I just wish it didn't come with the part of scamming and taking advantage of your fans, the people who've supported you through this whole process. So anyways, our story starts in 2017, where, if my math was correct, Tanna was only 19 years old. Having an entire career and team behind you at only 19 is definitely a lot to put on such a young person. Not to say that any of the problematic actions that Tanna did at that time or the scams and shady things that she participated in should be excused, but if any should, it definitely should be the ones when she was still a teenager.
And there's an ad incoming. I almost literally forgot that apparently I was using Google Chrome and not the ad blocker one. Sorry about that. Anyway.
In April of 2017, Tanna bought a Coachella wristband from a fan of hers. As the story goes, this fan ended up having extra tickets to Coachella and wanted to sell them to somebody. And at a similar time, Tanna tweeted about needing tickets to Coachella, so this fan messaged her and they were able to link up and exchange the tickets. Tanna then accuses the fan of selling her fake Coachella wristbands, saying they didn't work and sort of insinuating that she wanted her money back. This caused this fan to get a ton of hate.
Thank you to all the Tanna Mongeau fans for the comments you've been leaving me. You guys are so sweet, and I know Tanna's all about positivity and like being nice to people and anti-bullying.
I hope you yourself for scamming other. Oh god.
So thank you guys for really embodying that. I'm sure your idol.
Go
so
back
proud.
to China, eat dogs, stop. Oh my god. Yeah. Also, that's another big issue with this is that it opens up, you know, the floodgates to people to say the most horrendous things you could imagine. Jesus.
For the messages you're leaving me.
So this fan, aka a private individual, felt the need to make a YouTube video and post their side of the story with a ton of research that the wristband was legit, that it should have worked.
So at first I sent her a picture of my Coachella app that says, "Congratulations, your wristband's now activated." And then I also sent her an official Coachella email with my tracking number and the items I purchased. I bought 2 General Mission wristbands, and it has my UPS tracking number.
After the fan's story time was posted, Tanna ended up making this super long Snapchat rant, basically calling the fan a liar and just doing a ton of deflecting.
And I understand, like, you have a YouTube channel, like, if something, like, you think happened or whatever, you want to get views or whatever, but, like, this is also my life and, like, my livelihood. It's, like, I am still a human being, and if you know that, like, didn't happen, like, the things that you're saying didn't happen the way that you're saying them, like, you're fucking over another human being.
Tanna's response was really interesting because nothing in this story is adding up, but it's also interesting to see how impressively Tanna navigates her lies being exposed. She's really talented at deflecting and shifting the narrative. All of a sudden, this fan making a video defending herself turns into...
I think I could work out why. It's because Tanna believes in her lies. And she believes them so much she can just say how they are in any which way she wants. I feel like when it comes to people who lie so much that they believe their own lies, it comes as an example of what you might call... It's not so much like deflection, but it's rather... It's interesting when you see how they begin to sort of... The way they talk and the way they present exactly how they think they're always right. There's something in this sort of behavior that I'm not entirely sure if I can put my name on this, something quite specific, but it's like she tells her detractors everything they want to know just to make sure that their precious Tanna was always going to be okay and, you know, in the right all the time. I think that's what the point is.
This fan attacking Tanna, who's a human being, on a platform where she's trying to build her career. I feel so awful for the girl that got mixed up in this and ended up being attacked online. And overall, from the story, my perception as a complete outsider years after this has happened is that Tanna seemed to either want to get her money back from this person and get a free wristband in the process, or that Tanna was trying to milk a situation to create a story time and get views and engagement. Either one, not the greatest thing to do, especially when it involves messing with the life of a private individual. Another thing worth noting is that in 2017, Tanna also got into a drama or controversy with her former assistant, another private individual. Tanna publicly posted about having a horrible former assistant, the reasons being that the assistant was quiet.
She's very, like, I guess stuck up would be the word to describe. I'm a very, like, shy person. I'm very shy to new people, so, like, when I would, like, talk to them, I wasn't, like, stuck up. It was just, like, quiet and, like, awkward, I guess. I was like, hi, like, yeah.
And that the assistant didn't clean her room in the exact way she wanted it cleaned.
When she said that I did a half-ass job, here's a picture of her bathroom that I had cleaned spotlessly. So
yeah,
clean.
that looks fine.
Here's a video of her closet that I had unpacked and cleaned for her.
Yeah, that looks perfect.
aka things that are first off kind of really petty, and second off things you could keep private, bring up with the assistant if you have a problem, and then move on. The fact that you know you have a large audience and you're publicly blasting this person who used to work for you is just so disrespectful in so many ways. So once again, people were able to find this private person and send them a bunch of hate.
I'm not trying to start more drama with Tanna. I'm just trying to clear my name because the amount of hate comments that I've been getting so much from so many like Tanna followers or whatever, or like dislikes on my videos or whatever, is like ridiculous.
So once again, this private person felt like they needed to speak publicly and defend themselves. And from the account of the assistant, it really sounds like Tanna took advantage of this person's time. The assistant was overworked and underpaid.
Listen to every time that she says I'm making good money or a lot of money. It was only $10 an hour.
And Tanna was really flaky on paying the assistant.
I said, "Is Tanna up?" And then Bella said no, and I said, "Do you think you can wake her up?" LOL, she still hasn't sent me the money, and everything's coming out of my bank account, and I'm overdrawn. And then she said, "I'm not home," and I said, "Damn." I said, "Hi Becca, it's Melissa. I feel so bad for texting you, but I'm leaving for vacation today in like 4 to 5 hours. And Tanna told me that she would pay me before I left, and she hasn't yet and won't respond, and I need the money before I leave because I have absolutely none. I'm so stressed out. Do you think you can get a hold of her for me?"
Overall, she just seemed to have a lack of respect for the assistant and the assistant's time. And it's just shady business. It's not professional. And overall, in both of these cases of 2017 instances, it really shows that Tanna didn't have a lot of respect for other people's money, time, and privacy. And overall seemed to have this attitude that she could kind of work around the system to get what she wants from people, which seems to be an attitude that has gotten worse and worse over time, unfortunately. Moving forward, in 2018, Tanna Mongeau promoted free makeup brushes to her audience as a sponsorship of sorts.
Today I am partnering with Kenza Cosmetics, and they are doing a promotion right now where all of their makeup brushes are free. All you have to do is pay the shipping. I'm obsessed with so many of them, and they're really high quality brushes, and literally all you have to do is pay shipping. So swipe up to check them out. Shout out Kenza Cosmetics. Okay guys,
there is like almost no difference in her tone and in her voice if you were saying like some kind of like a street con artist. Roll up, come see, one time, one all. There is like almost no difference between her and one of those people. Set bim. I draw the line at set. Accompany the fact that she doesn't seem to care all that much for other people's, efforts and time and money, as was just said. There's something else that's all like just become apparent to me. She's just gonna move on from everything because she feels as if like these things are so like not worth addressing, and she could attack as many people as she wants because she knows she'll have her detractors there and who have said all these things because in Tanna's mind they will defend her to the very end. So there's no fallout. There's no blame. There's no trust lost. It's a win-win situation for Tanna. All she has to do is continue just doing what she does, and people will immediately. Maybe the reason why she's doing the free handouts is that when people get them and they see what a great person Tanna is, then anybody else who has any sort of complaints whatsoever, they'll be turned on, despite the fact of how dubious this all looks in the first place.
Add the flamingo set to my cart. I was gonna do the bimbo one, but they were already sold out. As you can see, literally $0. Come on, get in my fucking cart. So many people must be on the website. Like, what's going on? I just added it to my cart. You should do the same thing. They're literally free.
These free makeup brushes were by the brand Kenza Cosmetics, the infamous Kenza Cosmetics. And first off, let me just say, one of the most telltale signs that something is likely a scam is when they market it as free.
All of their makeup brushes are free.
Because nothing in this world is free.
Yeah.
Nothing is free. And when things sound too good to be true, they probably are. So if someone's marketing these fantastic makeup brushes as being free, no. So a lot of people saw Tanna's promotion of these makeup brushes and went to buy them thinking it's this amazing flash deal and they have to get in on it. Of course, the catch being in order to receive these free makeup brushes, they had to pay a ton in shipping.
They're really high quality brushes and literally all you have to do is pay shipping.
And either the makeup brushes never came or they arrived 2 to 3 months later, broken and damaged. So a lot of people were really upset about this whole experience and felt very scammed by this whole experience. What's interesting about the Kenza Cosmetics situation is Tanna sort of laid low when controversy was coming out and people were mad. She just sort of stopped responding, didn't have much of a response, and just laid low. Whereas another influencer that promoted these brushes, Gabby Hanna, tried to defend them and talk about how it's not a scam and people need to manage their expectations.
Manage your expectations a little bit.
And was just kind of really offensive in the way that she was talking about this experience where so many people felt they wasted a ton of their money, which not a lot of people have a lot to spend. So she received most of the backlash for her super poor response. Meanwhile, with Tanna, people were just like, oh, there's Tanna again, being silly, as if it's not more serious than that.
Yeah.
But you know. And Tanna was also allegedly reselling gifts her fans gave her, and she often promoted her Poshmark where she resold clothes, gifts.
A small clothing company called Bleach Tie-Dye exposed her on TikTok for allegedly asking them for free clothes, never wearing them, and then selling them for an even higher price on Depop. Everybody could clearly tell that it was about Tanna.
And there ended up being a lot of complaints about the quality of the Poshmark clothes that Tanna was selling, and people just receiving damaged items from her Poshmark.
Get your together because this is unprofessional and bad for your brand, boo. Still hasn't shipped. It's been 5 weeks. I love Tanna a lot, but I ordered this on the 1st of March and contacted her 2 times before her shop went inactive. Never received my item and I paid. Never received this item and never got tracking. It's been a year, still no package. I still haven't received it and it's been more than 2 weeks. Never received my item and was in contact with seller about receiving a refund and never actually got a response or refund. And this
almost reminds me of Fallout 76, and you know their refund situation where Bethesda's games were on their own platform and they only sometimes gave refunds to players, and then it was just part of a class action lawsuit because of this. The story of the fall of 76 is still one of my favorite videos I've ever seen on the internet because it is a case cut example of just how not to run a business, and you have to understand that if you sell people a bad product, of course you're going to expect them to be, upset, and they'll demand something to demand their money back.
Last year,
and when you act as if you're absolutely out of the loop in all this, then it makes matters worse because obviously don't they know what's going on?
About it, but still a fan.
It's really a bummer because a lot of these are kind of smart business moves in a weird way. Doing sponsorships, promoting a Poshmark, reselling clothes that you're getting, all of that could be seen as a smart business move if it wasn't done so poorly. Like, just be legit. It's not that hard. Give people refunds if they're unhappy with a product. Don't do shady business deals. And if something that you didn't think was a shady business deal ends up being one, apologize. These things are not that hard. It sucks because I want to respect Tanna Mongeau for being a hashtag girl boss, but I really can't when you're manipulating your fans, taking advantage of them, and screwing them over for wanting to support you. Like, that's so messed up. But things are about to get even worse.
Oh, really?
Undoubtedly, the largest and most impactful scam that Tanna Mongeau has done is one that we'll talk about that also occurred in 2018. TannaCon.
People are stupid.
And it all goes downhill from here. There's so many details to cover in TannaCon itself, and lots of great videos doing a deep dive into various aspects of TannaCon. But basically, in short, TannaCon was a revenge convention that Tanna put on to rival VidCon.
Fuck VidCon! Fuck anyone who created VidCon! I
think all of the rebelled people and all of the unwanted people should host a little meet and greet in Anaheim, California on the same days as VidCon.
A convention for video creators that she felt had screwed her over. So she put on a competing convention around a similar time that VidCon was happening that people could go to support her and other creators.
And reportedly there are already 80 confirmed creators to attend. You have Miranda Sings, Ricky Dillon, Casey Neistat, Bella Thorne.
It was petty and spiteful, but also something entirely new that the influencer realm hadn't seen before. An influencer putting on a convention with them kind of at the head, at the lead of it all, and the face of the entire convention. I mean, it was called Tanna Con. But unfortunately, 20-year-old Tanna Mongeau was not entirely equipped to throw such a convention. Tanna Con was thrown together in an unrealistically short amount of time. Cue Fyre Fest similarities. Why do people think it's a good idea to throw together an entire convention or event or festival in just a few months? How do you ever think that's going to work out okay? But you know, and because it was thrown together in such a short amount of time, there were so many catastrophic issues that occurred. First off, Tanna marketed the event as if there will be tons of free tickets.
And I would love to meet you guys for free and cause ruckus for free.
Why do people keep using the word free? It's too good to be true if something is free.
I agree. Fuck them. Let them pay for it. Featured fucking creator. Yeah, again, and maybe that's exactly why. That's the next thing. $65. I'm not entirely sure if this is any better, but the fact that it features like, I don't know what added bonus do you get for like swearing as part of this deal? That's why, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I don't mean to pause this for this long, but I'll just make a very quick sort of rant. When I do when I sort of do an overview of my Patreon page, and I go over exactly how much I should like charge for certain videos I do, I sort of do it out of respect of the fact that if people are going to pledge money to my Patreon channel, then I want to set like the prices to an extent where it probably would be wise if they took advantage of it. The idea is that okay, so if my minimum was about like £5 a month, but in that you got to decide on at least five songs you wanted me to react to, and if there was anything else you wanted to like talk to me about, then to do that, because I think that seems fairly reasonable, because it's reasonable in the margins of I'm getting paid rather reasonably for being able to make these videos, and also there should be also a little bit of an added benefit in there as well. Just something that's a bit more interactive, a little bit more, face-to-face, that sort of thing. Because I make a lot of videos, and, it seems only fair that, they should be able to, at least have some say into what exactly comes out. Because sometimes it could be weeks to months by the time I get round to something that sometimes somebody would really, really want to see. And sort of higher up the tiers, so it's sort of like £5 to £10 to £20, I sort of emphasize that they get higher priorities because obviously they're pledging more money and it's something that they really, really want to see, so I've got to make sure to impress them. Because it is a bit of money to spend, I will admit, but you got to understand is that with my schedule as it is, and the fact that I make videos left, right and centre, then there's no reason why I won't get round to them. And there's a reason why they'll have higher priorities, because it's just business. Sometimes it really is just business. I'm not being unrealistic about it. You know what? I've got to make money as well, and for me it makes sense. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to Tanna Mongeau, from what I'm gathering from this is that I don't even think she would even offer these deals even if she wanted to. I don't think she'll keep her word to them, from what I've seen before, because she didn't seem to keep her word in just doing things that aren't exactly petty, like talking smack about someone because their room wasn't cleaned in a certain way. You will never catch me doing stuff like that. Never.
I've seen a single other badge. You guys seen any people that claim they got free passes or anything? No.
It's bad because they
And what we ended up finding out later is that there actually wasn't a ton of free tickets available for people. And so Tanna was kind of like, oh, these sold out really fast. The free tickets sold out, but you can actually buy these tickets, which is sort of a marketing trick kind of in a way. You can get it for free. Oh wait, that's sold out? Buy this instead. The venue that TannaCon was held at also could not hold the amount of people that were coming, nor the amount of tickets.
Just gotta know how to get through. At least this one's the Olympics. So, you know.
Sold.
This is crazy.
And this is something that Tanna and her partner knew, yet they still sold that amount of tickets. Why?
Like, I think we're in a good capacity. I mean, we drop it to 3,000 if we wanted to, instead of 200. Where are we gonna?
Like, especially if it's your first year doing something, why not just play it safe? Have a good time. It might not be like this huge, giant convention, but it doesn't need to be. You can just play it safe and then slowly ramp up as you go along. And guess what? You probably would have made more money that way. At the day of the convention, there is an extremely long line, which was apparently planned by the people who planned this event.
It would be really cool to have people like outside waiting to get in. Like, people love to be oppressed outside. Yeah. Because like, I waited in the rain. Like, they love that shit. I love that shit.
Which is such a bizarre thing to plan out. Like, yeah, let's make sure that people are waiting in an unrealistically long line because somehow that's exciting for people was the justification. Weird, but okay.
Yeah,
so
that is
everyone
weird.
who was wanting to attend the event was just sitting around in the hot California sun getting sunburned because they weren't planning to be outside for that long, and there was just so very little safety measures for the whole event. Once again, the disrespect for others.
Tanna's gonna go and pretend that she cares about people right now by giving water to the people who couldn't get in because this whole event's canceled for the day.
Security had a hard time holding people off. The police had to come. Someone passed out. The event just slowly unraveled into complete chaos. The event felt almost apocalyptic. So TannaCon ended up being canceled after the first day. And so many people who paid for tickets and travel money to travel from out of state to the convention ended up having to just lose all of their money because the convention was canceled due to poor planning. The funniest part, not that any of this is funny, is the gift bag or goodie bag that ticket members received, which just had a bunch of random crap in it, basically. Very cheap crap.
Today, I thought I might just do a little what's in my bagsy from TannaCon. Stickers from PETA.
What?
Gucci princess, but I can't afford that because I wasted my money on a ticket. And I don't even know what this is.
Like, it reminds me, if you've ever had a dad who's gone to like work conferences, and maybe this is just my dad, but ends up coming home with a bunch of random knickknacks with random company logos on them, like a stress ball or a stapler. It sort of reminds me of that, but for a gift bag with a bunch of TannaCon logos all over it. Either way, you know it's gonna sit on your desk for maybe a few weeks, you're gonna forget about it, and then slowly push it into a random corner where it's never seen again. So the entirety of TannaCon was a complete scam that also put people in danger and received mainstream attention for how truly catastrophic it was. Of course, there were other people involved. Tanna's partner, Michael Weiss, also has a huge responsibility in what happened with TannaCon. But when you're the face of something, in my opinion, it's your responsibility to put the right people in place. And there was so much that could have been done to prevent this disaster by anyone involved. And it feels like everyone involved just literally watched the train wreck happen from the sidelines. After TannaCon, Tanna and Michael Weiss kept trying to pin blame on one another.
You said that Tanna told her audience and told everybody that she was putting a lot of her own money in this, and you said that's not true.
Yeah. The fact that Tanna's even wearing a Metallica shirt as well just seems like a slap in the face. As a loyal metalhead myself, just I don't know. I don't know what the hell is I don't know what the hell is up with it. But this seems like a giant slap in the face. I think it's just because would you see Metallica fans, I'm not even sure if Tanna may listen to Metallica, I generally do not know, nor do I think it's really that relevant, but would you ever see a Metallica fan ever exhorting this sort of behaviour? Or rather, would you see any fans of heavy metal any way, shape whatsoever exhibit this sort of behaviour? Now, I know there are some bad people, you know, in the heavy metal community. I'm pretty sure those people who burned down all those churches because a Mayhem concert told them to. But people have got more sense than to do stuff like that. I mean, what was it that Eric Adams said? One of my favourite lines in all of metal. If you're not into metal, you are not my friend. I swear to God, Manowar is... If you've never heard of Manowar before this video, I would instantly tell you to check them out. They've been around since the 1980s, but they are perhaps the single greatest thing to ever come out of New York City. I'm not even joking. Absolute perfection. They write a lot about... they write a lot about Greek. They write a lot about Norse mythology. They also talk about how awesome it is to be in... to listen to such music. They are absolutely one of the greatest. Which, when all is said and done, I think we should just take it for granted the fact that Tanna isn't wearing a Manowar shirt, or even a Megadeth shirt. No, I'm not sure. What do you guys think? I know this is a very weird thing to comment on, but I can't help but I look at this and think to myself, no, I don't think this seems particularly that fair.
It's been me saying I'm putting my own money into it. Because whenever I've talked about that, I've talked about the investments that were like made. We told me we're in this together, this is our money, I'm investing it here.
Which is just so beyond ridiculous because point blank period, both of you guys are to blame, both of you guys had a part in it, you're both wrong. Let's stop trying to blame one another. Tanna also kept promising to reimburse people, but reimbursements for TannaCon never came. After TannaCon, Tanna sort of laid low for a little bit, you know, didn't do too much scamming after that for just, you know, a good few months. Gotta let everything cool down, you know? But very soon after, her shady businesses and business dealings started to pop up.
Like these fucking ads.
Again.
Okay, how could this get worse?
In 2019, Tanna announced that she got her own MTV reality show and also got into a relationship with fellow problematic YouTuber Jake Paul, which in a weird way was smart. Do I want to say it was smart? I don't know. But basically, they were both problematic, and so coming together, people were really interested in what that dynamic would entail, and they sort of canceled each other out, so people sort of forgot about a lot of their problematic aspects, at least more than people should have, because both have done a lot of problematic things, like literally putting your fans in danger, extreme danger. With TannaCon should not be something that's completely forgotten about because you have a reality show and are dating another YouTuber. What? How did that happen? How did we let that happen? So the relationship between Tanna and Jake climaxed? Is that the right word? That's not the right word to use. That's a little... It reached ahead? Now I'm just thinking of innuendos. But anyways, the relationship all came to a high... Oh gosh. Okay, you get what I mean. With the two charging $50 to $75 to their fans, for their fans to be able to watch a live stream event of them getting fake married, which 66,000 people paid for. 66,000 people paid $50 to $75 to watch these two.
Well, all I have to say to this, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you generally want to throw your money away, I'm not here to stop you, but good lord, you'll come to regret it at some point down the line. That's all I gotta say about that.
Clearly put on a fake wedding.
If somebody told me, would I want to pay $50 to $75 just to watch two people not get married but have a fake wedding, I would frankly tell them to go to hell, because no, just that's not right.
And the worst thing about it isn't just the fact that people paid $50 to $75 for this thing, especially because they broke up very shortly after this whole fake wedding, but also because the live stream literally did not work at all. And it kept glitching and freezing and was just like not working whatsoever, even though people paid serious money to watch this whole wedding thing happen. And no one was refunded, even though what they paid for literally wasn't working. It seems that both saw their online social media relationship as a great financial opportunity as well as a way to promote their various projects that they were working on. But to me, it's just so weird that they used a significant life event, something that so many people is like the most important thing that'll ever happen to them, a marriage. They used that event just to scam fans out of a glitchy live stream? The internet is just so weird to me. I don't understand it sometimes.
Alright, Hannah, what else have you got? Tanna, or whatever her name. I don't care what her name is anymore.
In January of 2020, not long ago, yet so long ago, Tanna released a perfume called Tanna by Tanna. She released all of these promotions for the perfume, talking about how special, unique, and custom it is.
Trying to anybody this Valentine's Day, girl. This is the
Can you mind getting out of my face, Tanna?
Spray. Look at that mist. Look at that cap. Look at that smooth.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna straight up level with you. I'm feeling like a little bit disgusted, in all honesty. I don't want this woman like anywhere near my face. I don't want her pushing bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a little bit of history you might be quite interested in hearing about. I think I'm like about 8th, 9th generation English, but several generations ago, I found out that apparently both of my parents' heritage do stretch all the way back to Ireland. We're talking beyond the days of like County Down, long before the days when Northern Ireland was made into a thing. Probably even before Michael Collins and all the rest of them. But I just gotta say this right now, just before. One thing that a lot of people come to realise what the Irish is all about is that the Irish hate bullshitters. Now let me tell you what I mean by this. We hate bullshitters. We hate people who lie to us. We hate people who try to con people. We do... I never thought about this before, but the more I think about it, the whole thing about, national identity and all that thing about, just because you're, claim to be Irish and all of a sudden you hate, scam artists, that doesn't mean anything. You could have hated scam artists long before this. But listen, the point I'm trying to make about this is that don't come lying to me, because I could see right through your lies, Tanna. I could see right through your bullshit. I could see right through your thousands of giggling, screaming lunatics of fans, waving their stupid expensive phones in the air, all dressed as if like they're just ready. It's friggin' forget people sunburned. I think that sun must have smoldered their brains out, because how could you fall for something like this? This is just insane. Everything about this is insane. It's insane the fact that Tanna straight up. Well, I suppose it comes down to this. Who is the bigger fool? The fool or the fool that follows him? I think that's the big thing we have to work out here. So I don't just hate Tanna, but I also kind of hate the people that follow liars like her, because it doesn't seem fair. It also doesn't seem fair that people don't have enough common sense to not realise that this sort of behaviour is completely unacceptable.
Only for people to find out with a very, very quick search that the same perfume bottle that she was selling was being sold everywhere on sites like AliExpress and Alibaba for 30 cents. And she was selling the perfume for $48.
That's ridiculous.
And I don't think that the perfume itself, the liquid itself, was costing anywhere near $47.70 to make.
Hang on, let me think about this. That's 180 times the price.
That's a big profit margin.
As I build a brand and sell you things like this, you know, at the end of the day, I'm selling you this right now.
Then in 2020, when celebrities and influencers started coming out with OnlyFans, Tanna launched her own OnlyFans, and a lot of people were complaining about it. Basically, Tanna was just posting Instagram photos and basically clickbaiting a ton of people to pay money for her OnlyFans, which ended up causing a ton of problems for other OnlyFans creators because the platform ended up getting a ton of complaints from people who had paid for these major influencers that weren't delivering what they promised to deliver on the platform, to the extent that OnlyFans had to change their rules, put more restrictions in place, and it made it really hard for other creators on the platform to be able to succeed. I did a whole video on OnlyFans, so you can definitely check that out if you want to learn more about that situation. Another sort of funny thing to mention is that in 2020, Tanna offered photos of her, if you catch my drift, in exchange for votes, which she called booty for Biden, which is basically voter fraud. On September 30th of 2020, Tanna tweeted something that might have broken election laws. She said she'd send OnlyFans followers a photo of herself free of charge if they sent proof that they had voted for Joe Biden. Because, you know, activism.
Tanna uncensored messages are officially broken and the point has been made. I got tens of thousands of messages of people telling me that they willingly voted for Joe Biden and it's the best thing ever. You don't need my ass to make you go vote. So go vote because you want to see a change in this country just like me.
You know what? Even though technically I do support, well, Biden, well, as far as I understand, you know, American politics is concerned, I'm just gonna have to straight up say right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is not right. Because what you're basically telling people is that vote for this person, not because of their politics, not because of what they believe in. Vote for it just because you want to simp to me and I'll send you a free picture of my ass cheeks. This is what this is boiling up to. Speaking of boiling, I need to get like a fan in this room or something. It's once again conning people for something they don't understand. Now I'm sure plenty of people will understand, you know, exactly how, you know, what this deal is, you know, with, you know, elections and all that. But what do you guys think? That's it. That should be interesting.
And thank you to everybody who joined me today. Booty for Bidening.
The problem is, this could literally be voter fraud for this reason. And following the potential issues with hashtag booty for Biden, Tanna actually got her YouTube verification removed.
Well, there is something about that. Cool.
Then, in April of 2021, Tanna decided to further capitalize off of her OnlyFans success through creating Tanna's Angels Agency. That's a tongue twister. Supposedly to help others gain success off of OnlyFans.
This is not a team I would trust. Like, I don't know, y'all. I would not trust you with my bank details.
As someone who spent some time in the modeling industry and was signed to a modeling agency, agencies themselves, to me, kind of seem like a scam. There's very rare situations where I've met anyone where an agency like went above and beyond and helped accelerate their career so much. Usually what entails when you go along with an agency is horrible contracts, them taking a huge chunk of your pay and not doing much to actually help you get work, in my experience. And a lot of agencies, whether they're modeling agencies, acting agencies, OnlyFans agencies, tend to target young and naive people who can be easily manipulated by bad contracts or have little business experience. So Tanna made a Twitter post basically claiming she's gonna help so many people get rich off of OnlyFans. They just have to join her agency, which takes a huge chunk of people's pay because apparently Tanna's Angels Agency is a subcategory of Unruly Agency. And a lot of people debunked Tanna's claims that she'd be able to help you you get rich off of OnlyFans. Tanna is making money on OnlyFans because she's already got a name. You being in her agency does not guarantee you the same success she's had. You don't need an agency to succeed at OnlyFans. You just need a fan base, and that can take a while. I feel like this makes no sense. Would her OnlyFans be as popular if she wasn't already an internet personality? If she was just the average person trying to make ends meet and side money on OnlyFans with no prior following, would she have a multi-million-dollar business with OnlyFans? You already know this is an effing scam. Another YouTuber scam. Do you guys not learn? I don't think this is gonna end well. Also, she's effed over so many people. How do y'all trust this? Oh yes, let's create an agency to steal money from OF girls that are already struggling. What percentage do you get from them when they're a part of your agency, Tanna? You money-hungry person. And this person really broke it down to show how much of a scam and just not worth your time being involved in this agency is. OnlyFans takes 20%, Unruly takes 10 to 20%, and Tanna takes 10 to 20%. Who's making the bag again? Because it sure doesn't sound like the girl or guy is, which is a very good point. That's literally 60%
of your income
at most, and 40% at least of this person's income just gone if they sign with this agency. And this makes me sad because it's so predatory to some of the young fans who grew up with Tanna, maybe watched Tanna when they were super young and then went into early adulthood along with Tanna and may now be 18 years old, because she's basically not only encouraging them to go into OnlyFans, a platform where you really have to understand the implications of what you're getting into and what that means, but she's also encouraging them to sign up through her agency, where she takes a huge chunk of their money. As someone who saw this happening in the modeling industry and has heard countless of horror stories, please do not do something like this. Do not get involved with an agency like this. A few months ago, Tanna has been accused of scamming her fans once again, this time through creating a lingerie line that she once again promoted as this like awesome, special, unique line, when once again a quick Google search shows the same pieces or eerily similar pieces being sold on AliExpress, Alibaba, and Shein.
This is $12 on Shein. Go buy it there. Don't pay Tanna $30 for her to resell it to you. Ugh.
For a fraction of the price she was selling it for. At this point, we're not surprised, but get that bag, I guess. But also, people don't buy this stuff if you don't want to waste your money. As I mentioned in the video I did on influencer crypto scams, Tanna
this is now
also
almost beginning to remind me of the story of Lispy Jimmy. You remember that scumbag who basically lied about every single thing he did and did this for so many years that eventually his fan base died down because they knew fine well Lispy was full of shit. The only problem is that Tanna seems to be almost Lispy Jimmy times 6 because she's constantly getting away with this.
Promoted a cryptocurrency recently called Titscoin, where she basically told the audience to buy this cryptocurrency or get in because it helped her buy a Rolls Royce.
You believe my ownership in Titscoin just bought me this beautiful Rolls Royce? Get yours now.
And if you want to know more about how problematic that was, definitely check out my video on cryptocurrencies. I thought I would add in really quickly some other shady business elements that Tanna has participated in that I didn't cover when filming. Tanna promoted a platform called EduBirdie, however it's pronounced, which was a huge controversy for YouTubers, and Tanna continued to promote it even after a bunch of YouTubers were criticized for promoting it.
What's up, guys? You already know that I failed high school.
And I loved writing though, but if you are having trouble with writing, swipe up and check out EduBirdie. You can choose from hundreds of professional skilled writers to work on an already existing paper, edit a new one, swipe up.
EduBirdie is basically a platform that's promoted to children that writes essays for them with a guaranteed A, which is plagiarism, and children can get in serious trouble for using this platform, and the platform overall has been exposed for being a complete scam. Tanna also promoted Cloudy, a melatonin vape that also has essential oils in it. Inhaling essential oils, especially so directly, isn't known to be the greatest thing for you. She was basically promoting a vape-like item that's supposed to help you sleep to her young audience fan base. Just a lot of questionable actions there. Tanna also created the 1111 Project, which is apparently a charity that was created by her and her team. Although there's not a ton of information on 1111, the site links back to all of her social medias. The 1111 Project was created during COVID and was supposed to help people during the pandemic. The thing is, this charity, its only role was to donate to other charities. So if you donated to this 1111 Project, they would just disperse that money into other charities. My personal theory, although there's still not a lot of information on the 1111 Project, is that its sole purpose was for Tanna to be able to write off all the donations on her taxes. Because, you know, all that OnlyFans money equals a whole crap ton in taxes come tax season. Tanna also apparently had a phone case sale where if you bought one of her phone cases, you got a free t-shirt. Except for she didn't explicitly describe what the t-shirt was, and the free t-shirt was a t-shirt of David Dobrik.
On 420, Tanna Mongeau had like a merch sale, and I bought one of her phone cases, right, because they're super fucking cute, whatever. I know she's problematic anyways. But it said for the 420 special, there was a shirt that you would get for $4.20, like extra, like a merch shirt. I assumed from her, since this is her merch line. So I was like, okay, yeah, fuck it, like whatever. Honestly, like a $4 shirt, when's that ever gonna fucking happen? I love wearing like comfortable t-shirts to sleep and stuff or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. Tell me why I just opened my package, and the phone case is super cute, okay? I'm happy with the phone case. The merch is David Dobrik merch. Like, it literally says David's Vlogs.
So fans of Tanna received a David Dobrik t-shirt around the time that David Dobrik had all of his controversies. So those were some kind of other questionable things that Tanna has participated in that I thought were worth mentioning.
I ain't felt this good in a minute. Own it. I ain't trying to rent it. It feel like it's third down.
There's lots of other controversies that Tanna has been involved in. I've seen a lot of dialogue recently on the photoshopping that Tanna does and how she promotes unrealistic body image standards because how she portrays herself on social media is so different to how she is in real life, which once again can be problematic for the young girls that follow her. And overall, Tanna just seems to be really good at capitalizing off of facades. So is any of this illegal? It's hard to hold influencers legally liable for scams that they promote because they can just say that they didn't know that it was a scam or they weren't aware of the fraudulent aspects. But under Section 52 of the FTC Act for the dissemination of false advertisements, the FTC objective is to protect consumers from unfair conduct in the market. It shall be unlawful for any person, partnership, or corporation to disseminate or cause to be disseminated any false advertisement. So under the FTC Act, false advertisements should be punishable, but a lot of influencers are not being punished, unfortunately, which sounds weird, but you know, there should be some sort of accountability for spreading false advertisements and causing your fans to lose money. I can't blame anyone for wanting to make money, but when you continually screw over your own audience in order to do so, the very people who support, care for, and have helped you throughout your entire career, well, that's kinda shitty and kind of a big bummer. You could play naive for one or two things maybe, but I think Tanna knows that there really aren't any excuses anymore for her actions, so she's just stopped giving them. At this point, Tanna is well into adulthood and she knows exactly what she's doing. So let's stop giving people the benefit of the doubt or redemption arc opportunities when they've shown us time and time again exactly who they are. I swear we're all in like this weird toxic relationship with problematic influencers. If you want to see more videos like this covering different influencers and their shady businesses and scams they've participated in, leave a recommendation for an influencer you want me to cover down below. And stay safe out there. See you next time. The bella's getting big.
Okay, and I love you. Well, that's kind of sweet. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for Tanna Mongeau by Cruel World Happy Mind. Okay, so that was a very interesting example because the thing to take away from all of this, if I've learned just about anything from this story, is very simple. Don't lie to people, don't bullshit people, don't mock their intelligence, and consider the implications of your own actions. If you do that, then you will be absolutely fine. I mean, just take a look at me, for example. I mean, I do that. I don't bullshit. I take accountability for my actions. I understand that my actions have consequences. Tanna seems as if she could just do whatever she wants and run around as if like there's absolutely no problem. And do you know what the thing is? You know, I'm telling you what, I'm gonna do you all a favor. I'm gonna go onto where's Twitter? I'm gonna go onto Tanna's Twitter right now because I just want to see for myself. It's the only way to cancelled. Not bad for a 5 with no talent. You're not wrong. She's cancelled. Should we have a podcast? And July 6th, and this was, what, July 25th when this happened? Honestly, honoured to have the best mean songs ever written about me. She ratioed me S. I have to show you my... You know, it's just sort of like occurred to me right now. She's just rolling in this. That's interesting. She, even though she claims to have been cancelled, she still uses it to like further, you know, advance a very shady edge popularity, which is just horrible if you ask me. But that's unfortunately as far as we've got to go. Because I've been on this for a while now, and it would be interesting one day if ever I met Tanna and whatever she thought about like what I did, because I can guarantee, ladies and gentlemen, I will be as big as Tanna Mongeau one day, except it will be for very different reasons, and the legacy I'll leave behind will not nearly be as problematic as the one she's created. So I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll hope to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, bye-bye for now.